We got Casanova Rud, episode 88, the Carrying the Culture show. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm excited, OG, to rock, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you, man. Let me ask you, how should I address you first? I know your name.
My name's Tomorrow. Just call me Tomorrow.
Oh, Tomorrow. Okay, because I thought you had like an alias or something. Because I've changed my name. I got many. Titles.
No, I got many names, but that's cool. I'm a chameleon too. But for the hip hop side, you can call me Tomorrow. Big up, Neat the Exotic. Queens get the money in this motherfucker tonight. Yo, and I appreciate. I'm gonna say this, man. I was sending you the show as you joined. I mean, I appreciate you for fucking being on time, man. I really, that it goes a long way. I mean, it sounds stupid, but I really appreciate you just like showing the fuck up. So we got a couple of before we get into it, we got a couple of ground rules. If you got any questions, please use the questions feature below. I can pull up the question rather than using the chat. Also, just like on the page, if you get on any fuck shit in here, you get a one-way ticket express to the essence, and that's what it is. So let's get into it, man. Again, thank you for joining us. We got Casanova Rud in the building, Super Overseeing Casanova Rud. We're going back, and I love having OGs on, man, because you come from a pivotal era as far as like, I mean, I was listening to the music in '88 and stuff, in '87 and all this, but you were making it, and you come. So it's critical to have people like you on as far as So I want to do some history shit with you, if you don't mind.
I'm all with it, yo. I'm here for you, my G.
Word. So originally from Lower East Side, right? But grew up. You were in Jamaica, and then in Astoria, right?
That's absolutely correct. Excellent. So
let's
excellent research.
Let's go to Queens then. You're like 8 years older than me. I checked on it. So let's go back to Queens, block parties. Take us back in time for a minute. What was that like for you growing up?
Well, when I moved, I lived in two parts of Queens when I was young. I lived in Cambridge Heights first. I had moved out with my grandfather, my grandmother, and they had raised me up until I got up into intermediate school. So that's when it got busy. That's when I got to IS 126 in Astoria, Queens. And it was a mix of when you come from a culture of being in church, and then you with grandma and grandpa, and you in like it ain't the suburbs, but it's a nice part of Queens. So
right.
once you thrown into the fire in a housing project, you know what I'm saying, and you it's a culture shock. But the thing that was the shock was the music, my G. You know what I'm saying? At that point, I was already kind of into to music already. I used to go to like the Jamaica Roller Dome in Queens, Jamaica Avenue. I used to vibe with that music and stuff then, skating and seeing how everybody was vibing. So I already had that party. That was the allure for me already, that type of music and feel. So I was always wanting to be like a DJ. I used to see the DJ doing stuff in the booth, just mixing those songs and stuff. So, but when hip hop came into the picture, man, it's right in the time when I was in Astoria, Queens, in Astoria houses, and I was in the sixth grade, 7, 8, 9, sixth grade, and jams in the park, DJ Hollywood, TNT brothers. I mean TNT. You got the Disco Twins. I mean the list. I can overlook a lot of people that were there, but just the allure of having those jams in the park, and seeing like it's in the dark, and all you see is the illumination of the light from the DJ booth on their face, and there was no MCing really then. You know what I'm saying? It was really more about the DJ.
Very important point, man. Very important point. The backbone of this whole shit, and it's lost. Kind of a niche thing now, but that's critical. Like it was, the MC was a glorified hype man as far as I'm concerned back then. I mean, like. It wasn't as important, right? I mean,
it was there to keep like a crowd flow, but if you didn't have a mic set up, it was no MC. You know what I'm saying? So if you just if everybody dancing, you ain't gonna stop and looking for an MC. We gonna keep the party going. So they had to find a way to spin back loops and stuff. That's where like the hip hop started with finding the loop on the breaks. You know what I'm saying? Yes. When you think about it, it's all about trying to keep a steady flow so you can have a rhythm or something melodic to dance to, because, you know, at that point it was so raw, people were just finding new ideas, new ways to go about it. And, you know, the first thing was the DJ. And, you like, in the first DJ I recall ever hearing about it was Grandmaster Flowers was the first. He was the master of the blends, like the blends. He wasn't a hip hop DJ at all. Don't get it twisted. But he was like a disco blends type of, you know, party type of thing.
Right. He was from Brooklyn, right?
He was from Brooklyn. I think Farragut, or I'm not exactly sure.
Right, yeah, Farragut.
Yeah, I think so. And so I remember, and it's a documentary recently I heard that I think Illa G was talking about it. Your drink, so it came right back to mind. So put all the things back into place to talk about today. But definitely that was first. But of course, with that, what was closely grouped with that was breakdancing, popping and locking. You know what I'm saying? Graffiti. All of that stuff came at the same. It was like a blast. Like, bow, here, take this, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And so it was so alluring. It was so impactful that it was ingrained in me early in your life. I mean, early in my life. And you got to keep in mind when you're young, when you're in your 8, 9, 10, 11, that's when the things are the most impressionable. Those are the things that create your neuron connections for you to have the matrix of how you process information in the future. Sure. So I still got that same heart right now. So when anything I did with music was always about love, because I loved it first.
Right. That makes perfect sense. And you make a good point, man, as far as like going back, as far as the parties were going on, you know, like before the, you know, and it's important to know, like the B-boys were doing their thing already. Like that stuff was happening. And I'm glad you pointed that out. And especially, you know, the thing about the age shit, that's really critical too. Cause for me, like 86, I mean, I was 10 years old. 87, I was 11, and that's when, you know, Paid in Full came out. So like,
yo, I know you was bugging. Like,
right.
when I was bugging when I heard Planet Rock.
Right.
Down. I'm like, oh, you know, I'm trying to spin that back, and you know, at your own risk and all that other shit. And you know, you got Mantronics trying to do stuff. It was like everybody had you listening to Euro music. You know what I'm saying? You got Aha. You got stuff coming over here influencing us. So we took them. We like the blender of music. Hip hop is the blending of everything. You know what I'm saying? Well, the culture, because hip hop is not just music. Because rap is part of the music of what, but rap is just one category. Because I got other categories. I got hip hop, because some of these people are hip hop, popular hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But you got your gritty stuff. You know, you got your 90s eras. So you can't even pick top fives. And when people ask me, what's your top 5? What's your top 10 then? It's impossible. It's too many eras. I can pick top 5 in each era.
Right. No, I hear you. And it was so much, and that's what I wanted to talk about, man. There was so much versatility back then. And you talked about it. I read an interview that you did. You were talking about how, like, basically it was, how different can you be from somebody else? You had to have your own steez back then too, and that was critical. Like that's what I remember. You had to be different.
But I think you might have even, I say it all the time. There was a saying back in the day: beat biter, dope style taker. If you stole somebody's beat, oh, forget about it. Stole somebody's style, you might get jumped, and then you shunned from whatever you involved with going forward. Don't have no bootleg CD out on the street with your joint on it. You know what I'm saying? Or somebody disrespect. Well, the disrespect wasn't as intense as it is now. We had a little bit more thicker skin back then, because I think what we were coming up in was about establishing our own. But now it seems like everyone's trying to find an identity, but they don't have one because they're all doing the same thing. So when someone disrespects, they trying to take their lane because there's no other lane to take because they don't have one. Right. If that makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. And it seems like more it's about now, like about how much you can sound like or be like somebody else rather than being different. Like if you're different, like, oh, you need to sound more like, be like more like whoever.
And it's these machines. Everybody's just relying on these machines. So these machines have a set algorithm, a set tempo, a set sound, set cadence. Everybody's sounding the same. It ain't no individuality. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing that's definitely lacking. But I've tried to respect it because everyone seems like they're trying to take it to the next level, especially business-wise. Because we have more of our own situation now in our own hands than we ever had, especially in the distribution aspect of it. So if you sign a deal, you're stupid, really, technically, to me, Because why would you give someone a piece of anything?
Not in these days.
Not in these days.
No, you can definitely do your
You
own
could
thing.
you can hire publicists or hire people, marketing teams. You can hire distribution. Why would you sign with someone? That makes no sense. But I don't know. It is what it is.
I mean, it's a different game. We're gonna get into that a little bit too. Yo, did you have any like older brothers or uncles or friends? Like, who was putting you on to like how did you like, what was the connection as far as the music goes?
Well, just getting started with the music.
Well, with just being even loving the culture. Like, I mean, for me, it was like, I mean, I'm an only child, so for me, it was like I was always around my uncle and my older cousins.
Well, I definitely grew up with my moms and my pops early in my life until my pops wilded out. But then in Lower East Side and like 3rd Avenue, Third Street Avenue A or B, whatever, I forgot so long ago. But then they used to play music all the time, jazz, you know, all the soul stuff, Michael Jackson. I remember seeing the Jackson 5 variety show back then, just like, you know, just when I was little. So it's strange that I've always had it around me. Church, I'm going to church with grandma, grandpa. So that's another element of music. You know what I'm saying? They had everything that I ever sampled, anything I ever produced came from my grandmother's basement. All the records. I never had to go shopping for records. As I used to see records in the store. When me and Paul used to go record shopping, Paul C, we used to go record shopping in the stores. I said, oh, I got that. He used to be jealous, but he had stuff that was mint. The stuff I used looked like it was Fisher. You don't remember the Fisher Price record player? It looked like, you know, scratched them joints.
With the big thick ass grooves and this shit. Yeah,
that's how my joints would look, because I wouldn't take care of them. That's one thing Paul C hated about me. I wouldn't take care of the records. But yeah, so I always had like the accessibility of like music around me. You know what I'm saying? And they let me be free with it. So it was excellent.
No, that's dope. So it was funny. So I was trying to do the knowledge on some shit as far as getting prepared for the interview, and I saw your last name, and I was like, that's an interesting last name.
Yeah.
And then I read something. It said that you said that your dad's Polish.
That is absolutely correct.
And that, like, you know, that blew my fucking mind, particularly based on, you know, your age and stuff. And you went on to say right after that was like, it was during a difficult, you know, a time when, you know, that wasn't really accepted. And how did that affect you, like, just growing up?
Oh, it still affects me to this day, to be honest with you, when you think about it, because, you know, people are going to always be impressionable or like always have an impression of what you are once you hear your last name. Especially if I'm over the phone. If I talk to somebody, you know, I'm like, yeah, this is Mr. Rudnicki. I'll be there shortly. And they see me come up, yo, what's good, fam? How you doing, my G? Yeah. You know, that's a whole different culture shock for them because they're not used to seeing that shit. But that's what we dealing with the world right now, the browning of everything. You know what I'm saying? It's going back to the original formula, you know, when you think about it. But back then with that time, you know, it's just coming out like the civil rights era and shit. I'm born in 1968. So you already know, you know, Martin Luther King, just gets assassinated in the same time period. Yeah, so right, everybody,
right there.
You know what I'm saying? And then we got the Vietnam War.
Vietnam.
You know what I'm saying? And so my pops, based on what my mom's told me, my pops was definitely a stand-up dude right before he came back from the war. You know what I'm saying? He went to Vietnam, he got shot up, got a plate in his head as far as I know. But, you know, he was abusive. You know what I'm saying? And so it's time to go. So I ended up going to grandma's house. That was right when I was going to elementary school.
Shout out to grandmas. I mean, my grandma helped raise me up too. And everybody great, like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, big up to them, to any grandparents to take on that task, you know what I'm saying, when they don't have to do that shit. You know what I mean?
Definitely. I miss my grandmother and grandfather every day, man. So I had structure. And, you know, love protects you, my G.
And this was when you were going to church more, right?
Yeah, everything. You see, I had so much love around me, man. Love protects you, man. When you got people that genuinely care about you, when they put you in a situation for you to succeed, it's up to you to figure it out. And they give you at least some lessons. Because, you know, the stupidest people that you're going to ever meet is your parents and your parents' parents, because they're teaching you the old shit, the shit that didn't work, that's putting you in these systems. So once you become knowledgeable shit, you should be teaching them now. But it seems like everybody just living and moving around, they trying to catch up. It's a microwave society, especially this music. This music is a microwave. That's why I sound all digital and chopped up the way it is right now. You know what I'm saying? But the times was hard, white pops, and it was time. I didn't see him after that. I was like 9 or maybe 8, maybe if that. Kind of trying to do the math. But after that, I didn't see him after that. That was it. That was the last time. And I heard he was a Rolling Stone. I got sibling. I got an Asian brother, a Jamaican brother, a Chinese brother, a Spanish brother, 2 sisters. I have a sister that's 45 years old. She just reached out to me 5 years ago. This shit is bugged out.
No, I hear you. I hear you. The family shit can get kind of interesting sometimes, man. I mean, it's just you know.
And my closest sister, you know, my biological is my younger sister, my only sibling. So you know, I had, you know, so I had the music around me. I had the love. I had the stress dealing with being a light-skinned dude in every situation. I'm not white enough. I'm not black enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
so
understand what you're saying.
It's tough, bro. It's tough. You know,
I understand.
But you know, but now it's a little different, man. You know what I'm saying? I took control of my mind and my situation.
Yeah, exactly. You have to, and I feel the exact same way. Like, you know what I'm saying? The mental is strong, so like I don't really give a fuck what you do. Like now, like
straight up, block me, I block you. Who gonna do it first?
Whatever. Like I couldn't care less. I got too much going on to worry about. You know,
That's
people
right.
that don't matter. It's
That's
you know,
right.
so and that comes with age too. I think, man. I mean, I would like to think that like as I've gotten older, maybe you probably too. Like, you realize like, damn. Every day I wake up, I'm like, yo, you know what? I don't gotta take nobody's fucking shit today.
Why would you?
Nobody.
Well, especially when you understand the science behind everything. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody got triggers. Everybody's reflecting stuff from that's inside of them. You know what I'm saying? So once you understand it, it's easy to deal with because you got the leverage. It's up to you if you want to argue or not. You know what I mean?
Facts. So, so you were, if I'm not mistaken, you were more into the production, right? As far as the Super Lover C stuff, right? I mean,
oh yeah, with the Super Lover C, Casanova Rud stuff, we decided to concentrate on our strengths. To be more conscious and just concentrate on that. So his Soup was definitely his lyrical prowess and his delivery. That had to be on the forefront. So by me trying to dilute that would be foolish. You know what I'm saying? But my prowess definitely was doing the production. Because I learned under the master of the SP12 and the SP1200. I learned from both of those systems under him. He was over my shoulder.
Yeah,
I produced, and it's a misnomer or a misunderstanding that he produced our stuff. He did produce a couple of our things, but most of the things he crafted, like the sound, and he taught me how to mix and engineer too, because I do that well as well. But his expertise was craft and sound, but he was also an excellent musician. He played multiple instruments. He was also an excellent engineer, excellent producer. He knows how to manipulate the machines. He was excellent with people. Communicative skills was excellent. It's sad that he's not here now to celebrate. But his impact is still as broad as it could ever be. Because it lives on in so many people, man. So many people that influenced hip hop early, and those early people influenced the people that were next, and it also influenced the people now.
No, of course, and rest in peace, Paul C. And I'm glad you started talking about that because I think I posted due to James or Girls I Got Unlocked on my page one time, and I'm glad you shared this because I forgot what had happened. Somebody made a comment, and then you kind of came on and you corrected them a little bit. And so I think that's what it was about, where it was like, oh, Paul C produced the joints. Because I was going to ask you, because I read somewhere, I'm like, it said that you produced them, you know what I'm saying? And what I heard about Paul C a lot, and you said this, what I heard about him was that someone said like he was very good at enhancing what was like taking it to like another level as far as like, okay, here's something like, and it just like that's what I heard was like a really big strength of his.
And also if you bring ideas to him, he'll put them in the places that you need. If you're not the technical person on the machine itself, he'll put them in the right place. You know what I'm saying? But he was good at everything. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't do everything. So I'm very humble, so it's hard to even talk like this. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to take credit for nothing, but I got to take credit for something because I'm going to be forgotten because I want to be known for what I did. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. I don't want no money for it. I just want I want my energy signature to stay on this planet so I ain't got to come back here because I want to leave my impact and go on to the next astral world, man. and make it happen. I'm not coming back here this time, yo. I made my impact. I ain't coming back. Yo.
We got to talk too, man. I'm not coming back here either. So we
Yeah.
gotta talk.
Yeah.
Yo, so what went into making a beat in like 1985, 86? Like
all right, everything is about establishing a rhythm first. You want a tempo. All right, you got to because you got to match the tempo with whatever sample, because it's all about sampling. I was so blessed, and I'm so grateful to be in the turning point of the technology. You know what I'm saying? Because it went from spinning back, and then the needles got better, sound quality got better, and then these machines came out that sample what you were spinning back. So you didn't have to pause tape. It's a demo no more, because you got the you got the ability to actually record some sound on a sample pad and play it back. So that's pivotal. So while we learning this stuff, I'm experimenting. I'm putting stuff into things. So the process is for me. It was hi-hat first. I started just basic. So you said get a rhythm first. All right, put the rhythm in, pause over the shoulder, then a kick, just a boom. So that's the one. So you want to do everything on that. So then I started learning stuff. I was showing Paul when we were sampling stuff, we should take stuff on the snare. Because sometimes when you take it on the snare, it's more on time. Because sometimes that first kick is a little elongated. So you don't know exactly what is the first truncate. You know, truncate is the part when you snip the front or the back of the sound.
You cut the air.
And so in the SP12 and the SP1200 had truncation. So when you get to the part that was right at the point of the front of the wave, it goes like the start off go, and once you right there, that sound is dominant. You know you're good. So I used to start on the snare, and then he told me to take the little pieces and put them together. So I was looking for parts in the record, like say if you have a part that's playing the bass line, boom, 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 but it's playing also with someone's vocal, and you know it might not have the part might not have the bass line you want. So you listen for the next part of the record that might have the same drop or that same feel or that same groove that don't have that lyric. And then I would take that piece with there, put it with that piece here, take that piece here, put it in front of that piece, and then try to, and you only had a couple of seconds to work with. That's the funny thing about the SP12 and the SP12. You had to do it within a certain time constraint in regards to sampling time. So you had to be really ingenious. But if you have tracking, like Paul had the advantage of having a studio, because I grew up in the studio. I used to go to Aviation High School. I was I think I was a sophomore.
What was that? What was that?
That's in Sunnyside, Queens.
Okay.
33rd and Rawson on the 7 train, the Flushing line, that the burgundy or the red 7 train line. And they used to connect with Queens Plaza. So Queensbridge, and keep in mind, I'm 10 blocks away from Queensbridge. That was super influential. Come on, the bridge.
That's what I was gonna say. Because the story is right near Queens.
So
right near
and they come and then Jams in the Park there, going Jams on Park in the River Park there. That's coming back over there. Everybody, yo, what's good, fam? Beef over here, for shooting over there. But it wasn't really like violence. It was just establishing respect. You know what I'm saying? So it was a different time, yo. Now it's just violence. It's no respect.
Yeah, everybody clapping because they're afraid to get beat up. You know what I'm saying? So like niggas, you could like, because I mean growing up, like you could beef with somebody, y'all catch a fair one, and then after that it's over, yo. Like for the most part, you know what I'm saying? If it's some neighborhood shit, after that it's over. You know what I mean? Like you ain't, and the dude that lost ain't running to the fucking whip.
That's it. And it'll be a fair one. You know what I'm saying? People standing around, yo, chill, let them do that, yo. Yo, put the Tulio. It ain't even that serious, yo. You know, it was like that. And then if you get knocked out, they wouldn't even stomp you out all the way. They let you get back up. All right, you all right, fam? Hug you a little bit. Take that, but don't come in here with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But now you can't even talk about a motherfucker, yo. They come to your crib with 9 people with hoodies on. You don't know if it's the KKK or the motherfucking the agents that work for the motherfuckers that be having the real black faces on. But I'll leave that one.
Facts though, like so it's a different, you know, like they clap at everything now, like,
and so it's a different culture. And what's so funny is you can't change it. The only thing that changes consciousness is mass death. Mass consciousness shift have to have mass death. That's why you be needing wars sometime to get 100,000 of these motherfuckers out of here. So we could bring some more spirits down there to start this shit over, because y'all niggas is fucking up. Blow that shit up, yo. You doing dumb shit you don't know by now, fuck it. Get up out of here, yo. It's time, yo. What my man Illa G the other day said, yo, you got to die. I put it in a different context. My bad. I didn't mean to take it like that, Illa, but yo, I respected that when you said that. When you're going at everything, you got to have that mentality, man. You can't save everybody. The first person you got to save is yourself. Save yourself first. Everything else is an illusion. So enjoy this shit, love everything, and be the best you can be at all that shit. That's why I blew up, because I wanted to be the best, and I had people around me that was the best. Larry Lav, which is Brother Panic. I have my man Super Lover. We ain't had no crew. We ain't chilling with 1,000 niggas. I ain't have Tribe Called Quest, Native Tongues, Jungle Brothers. I ain't have Juice Crews and all of that. We was holding it down dolo. No, I'm sorry. Chill out.
Nah, don't chill out.
My dude Biz, that's my nigga Biz Mark. That was my nigga though, for real. Nobody can say he wasn't. Also, we had like my nigga Scratch, DJ Scratch, my EPMD. Those were the dudes we did our first shows with. So we came up with them. You know what I'm saying? So I got mad love and respect for a lot of people. But a lot of these people that's perpetrating frauds, trying to hold on. Oh, Big Daddy Kane, my dude. And so many people now that's just trying to perpetrate frauds, man, and try to just make some money off of the old shit they doing. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing now? What have you helped anybody? Or I'd rather be in the background doing me and building me up instead of me taking advantage of people, because I see nothing but people taking advantage. This hip-hop game, they took advantage of us and stole our shit, made it big business. You know what I'm saying? Put a price tag on it. You can't even enjoy the shit the way it was intended, man. It's more than just music, man. It's a fucking way of life. You're not living it with how it was intended. It's to express what your condition is, yo. It's to express what you in right now. It's not to be fabricated and acting like you got money. It's not about promoting drugs. Y'all hear Percocets, Molly. That shit sounds retarded. But there are people that are speaking. Just like our time, we had the bullshit ass niggas too. We got the niggas up out of here too, but y'all letting these niggas rock. Get these bullshit niggas up out of here, yo. And the DJs is at fault. The DJs, yeah, the first initial shit that ever did it was the DJs, yes. Now it's time for the DJs to take over again, because y'all playing this bullshit.
Thanks.
Am I getting too excited? I apologize. I ain't getting too excited. I'm not angry.
I was gonna ask you about it. I was gonna ask you to give a state of the union type of dress. So I mean, and a lot of it is the pay for play shit too. I mean, like these guys, it's different. Like that's very prominent. You know what I mean? But the DJ, you know, like you got DJs, DMX. You know, rest in peace. He was famously talking to a DJ. He was like, you don't even like this shit, but you playing it. Like to this DJ, and the DJ, you know, he was like,
the money's too good, bro. The money's too good.
Right.
The broadcast is too broadcasted. People are, yo, you got to understand there's science to all of this shit too, man. Because, you know, they got signals, 440 hertz, that program how you think. It's going, that's what everything's tuned. Every radio station is tuned to that shit. So it's automatically going to have your brain ready for a phase to receive shit. And then you got programming and all of this shit, man. And it's repetition. So it's putting it in your brain to keep doing it over and over, and you start acting it out. So you got your little daughter twerking in the corner. You got your son on lean, following this shit. You probably on it too, because you looking at the same shit on these devices that's dividing you, looking at all of this shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a different culture. We can't even catch up and bring it back, bro. It's over. Our shit was organic. This shit is digital. This shit is binary numbers and shit. Oh, this ain't connections. This ain't real.
I mean, it's all different. The technology has made it. It's a double-edged sword, because we're using this to like build. So that's why I tell people, use it, get the positive out of it, but don't let this shit take over for you. Like I like there's things where I read, I'm like, yo, that's not good. That's great that you can do it. Just because you know how to do it doesn't mean you fucking should.
Should.
Like
We used to have quality control and shit back in the days, yo. Artist development teams and shit. Now it's just like, oh, I got Twitter, I got IG, I got a computer that I don't even need a studio. I lost my livelihood was before was engineering. I used to engineer at studios all over the place. Now you don't need one now. You just need a computer, press a button, and only got the Hit Factory settings in it. You got Pro Tools and you got all the plugins. So everything, every instrument in the world is there to your disposal. So it's a different thing, and everybody's just doing their own thing. So there's no experiment, no experimenting. There's no adventure in it. It just seemed like it's trying to achieve as many likes and as many people that just see it. It's not like you're trying to make a difference or like you're trying to create classics. Because like to create classics, you gotta have like a mold of a whole mix of things. It's like it's bring a body of work, not just like a shot of whiskey. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be drunk for days, dumb, drunk, stupor. Why are you smoking and getting high? And if you smoke crack too, I'm sorry, you should have been off that shit by now. But you know, there's ways to get high without even smoking too. If you start working on your mind and get consciously high, you don't gotta get high. But it's levels. But we get caught up with these machines. We get caught up with the repetition, and we see these on the devices. So it's hard to get out of it. We got to realize that first. If we want to change our condition, we got to change how we look at things and how things are polarizing us. If you're getting polarized by something, you got to flip it back. You know what I'm saying? If you're stressed out every day, what is stressing you out? Figure it out. It might be this music you're listening to. You got to listen. Everything that's playing now is these low hertz tones. Boom, 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 boom. You know, that's low levels frequency, so it brings your levels low, and then you get stuck in a dumb stupor, and it's like zombie mode. Yeah. And it's like we live for that shit. We get stuck in the root chakras and all of that. We get stuck down there sexually, and all the images are sexual. Back then, yeah, we showed a little cleavage here, but we had MC chicks that was spitting with clothes on. You was more worried about what they was spitting. You weren't worried about how much titty was coming out or how fake her ass is. You know what I'm saying? Back then, it was actually looking for skills and technique. So we all mind controlled out. There's no way in the world you're going to get back unless we have like a massive EMP, improvised electromagnetic pulse. You got to come and knock everything the fuck out. So we doing shit on paper and pens and shit again. Pencils again. We need that shit again.
Yeah, nothing will change in
it's impossible
until there's some crazy shit. The internet got to shut down for like a month or something.
Bro, think about it. Yo, tomorrorow, think about this shit. Now they got the metaverse, so we're going to be dealing with two of these shits. Yeah. You're going to be dealing with the real you that's not real and the fake you that's probably realer than the real you.
Yeah. So right. Yeah, don't even get me started on that. When I started seeing hearing all that shit, I'm just like, yo, really, we need this? Like, we really need a metaverse. We need that. Like, you know what I mean?
And the music's in there now. Look, they're experimenting with that. They got concerts and that shit now. And they got the young kids mesmerized in that stuff now. We're not even going to get them out of that.
Yeah, you don't see no kids playing outside. You know what I'm saying?
Outside.
Like, you don't see
reading books. What? You be stupid? You stupid to give your son or daughter a book right now anyway. They can't use that shit in the real world. Better leave the computer in front of them. Put something useful on the computer in front of them. On that device, because that's what the fuck they're going to be fucking with. Get them ready for the world. Why even have them go backwards? Yeah, the book should be for you, because you the dumb motherfucker.
I still like I like turning pages.
Yeah, man.
I still like turning my pages. So, yo, I want to go back for a second.
My bad. I be going on the tangent. I apologize.
This is great, man. No. I want to make sure I can cover a couple of things, but no,
yeah, no doubt.
I appreciate you for being candid. That's first, just you sharing and being real about shit. I mean, that's what it's about. Like, and I always say, man, these aren't interviews. We title them, put them in the YouTube. These are just conversations, man. Like, you see what it is. You know, it ain't shit. So, but I did, some shit I want to cover. How did you initially link up with Paul?
Well, I met Paul. I wanted to record in the studio because I got tired of DJing the other niggas shit. So I said, I'm gonna make my own motherfucking shit. So I decided to record my own demo. So we were doing battles in USA roller skating ring. in Flushing, Queens. Now it's a Korean supermarket, but it used to be USA roller skating rink. They used to have Eric B. Rakim there, Juice. Everybody. It used to be a whole lot of people that used to perform there, but they had this DJ contest out there and MC contest. So Scratch, that's where I met Scratch at back then. And Master Ace won the contest, and the top prize was to be in the Juice Crew. And Super Lover C actually came in second. And I think I came in fourth or something, but that's besides the point. But DNA saw us in the crowd and decided to talk to us to sign a deal. So, me and Soup was always best friends and doing stuff besides the music, but we was always kind of in competition in the beginning point with the music, because we used to battle each other. You know what I'm saying? So I decided to do a demo first at 1212. Soup ain't really know about 1212 yet. And my man Chris Moore, CJ Moore, he used to he lived in the Astoria, Queens. Used to be down with some group from they're called the AQ Troopers, I think it was. And he showed me the studio, and that's where Paul was at. So he was always booked, CJ. So he said Paul is definitely excellent. So I was lucky to meet Paul, and me and Paul hit it off like we was brothers our whole lives. You know what I'm saying? And he knew my heritage with being Polish, so we had a connection like that already with that, just being funny with that. And then he liked my ideas, and I had some stuff I was bringing. And that's when the SP12 was right. That's when it started. SP12. He said, "Yo, I got this today." It was there. I'm like, oh shit. So I'm in high school. I'm going there every day, and I'm just, I'm not getting paid. I'm not working. I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm just hanging out, learning, and he's letting me learn in the studio with him. And it's crazy. And he loved how that I soaked it in, and he appreciated me being around. And I used to bring work sometime for him. We did some people did some work there. And then I definitely did my demo there that I did at the USA roller skating rink. So when we got together to do the songs for the album for not Girls That Got 'Em Locked album yet, but Judah James, Girls That Got 'Em Locked, and Super Casanova. The story about those three songs is very crazy, because the samples for Judah James, which is Blues and Pants, I had, and the sample for Super Casanova, Soup had, and that was You Said a Bad Word, and we were going to use it for our own thing, but we used those for those songs. So I decided to trade the tracks, the samples. So Soup wanted to use the Judah James sample first. That was the first thing. We put that out with Impeach the President, and I forgot who told Soup to use Impeach the President. I'm thinking it was Larry Lab. I'm thinking that was Larry Lab, but it wasn't just me producing it. It wasn't Paul. Paul really had nothing to do with the idea. Soup definitely wanted to do that as his own song, so we did that first. My name wasn't even Casanova Rud yet.
Shit!
It wasn't even Casanova Rud yet. My first name was Spinbad, which was the worst thing I could have ever had.
You was DJing at the time?
Yeah, that was the first thing I ever did. I had two turntables. See, people don't realize how important the skills you got to have. It's not just spinning back. It's not just transforming. It's also keeping a needle on the record. These motherfuckers not only got needles, they cheating with this digital catch it on the groove, because there's nothing bouncing. That's a skill in itself. DJ Scratch is the best at that, because he used to play around with the turntables, bounce it while he's spinning and all of that. He's spinning back with canes and all. I seen him doing all types of shit. So this shit now is cheating. This DJ is not that disc jocking. This is digital jocking, and it's digital jacking. But I ain't.
There's no disc.
It's digital jacking, my G.
There's no disc.
But yeah, so I got introduced to 1212 from CJ Moore, and I brought Soup and DNA to 1212. You know what I'm saying? Ultramagnetic was recording there as well. You know what I'm saying? They the ones that forced us to record I love Ultramagnetic, but we couldn't record. That's why you the album. 1212. We had to leave 1212 when we became popular. Thank you, everyone. I'm so grateful. You know what I'm saying? To this day, I don't want nothing. I don't need nothing. I just want to know that y'all love that shit. That's it. And I hope y'all keep loving that shit to the end of time. But Judah James is the baby, yo. That's a beautiful baby we made, yo. You know what I'm saying? And it was made in 1212. So everything we did in there, we wanted to keep doing in there, but we couldn't. It was booked. Ultramagnetic had that shit for like 6 months straight. We had signed with Polydor Records first. But the staff there got fired, so they released all the projects that was associated with it. So it wasn't that we was whack or nothing. It's just that they released, fuck y'all, find something else. We doing our own thing. We gonna sign Britney Spears. I don't know what the fuck they was doing, but it was a blessing. It's science. Think about it. It's intended for us to even touch Polydor, because what label was James Brown on? Polydor. He was, one of them was Polydor. He had his face on that motherfucker. I wanted to put my face on the label. That's the funny shit. But then we got signed to Elektra. We wanted to do the album, but we had to record it at Green Street Studios. So that's why some of the sounds sound cleaner, because that studio was like top of the line. Right. We doing it. The 1212 is a hole in the wall, which it was like a cathedral. Like it's like it's like it was intended for God to appear, for someone following something. If you wanted them to appear. But that's what it was about. So that's how that started. CJ Moore brought me there. We signed to Elektra, and the rest was history, man. Came out with the album, hit Billboard, just being on top, debuting over Bobby Brown. I got Bobby Womack under me. I got Stevie Wonder under me. Beastie Boys is under me. I got Backstreet Boys is under me. That shit is crazy, bro.
That's the dope part about the whole thing is that
it's like, crazy.
Your mark, like, you know what I mean? Like, nobody can take away none of this from you, as far as, like, you know what I mean? Like, what you've done in this and your mark, and that's what I think is dope. So let's fast forward to like the second joint. Paul C, unfortunately, gets murdered, and fucking you guys are supposed to drop another joint. Somehow you guys got interrogated about this shit, and then shit kind of went sideways.
Well, just think about it. Somebody, all right, the times was changing. Gangsta hip hop was just happening. Think about it. It was changing the airwaves. Some of the stuff. Nas was coming out. He was about to get kicked off Columbia probably or some shit. I don't know what the fuck was going on, but people didn't like that violent shit. So what happens? Paul gets murdered. Don't know why, don't know who. Definitely not because of me. Definitely not because of Soup. Of course, they're going to associate us with him because we were around him all the time, and probably because we were closest to him around that time, but definitely wasn't us. So whatever it is, that's besides the point. But it destroyed my fucking career, yo. People, especially Soup, I don't want to speak on his behalf ever, but I just know he feels that we weren't. But I really think we were blacklisted. You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to touch something that's tainted, especially if it's affecting their livelihood or income or something that they might have, ambitions for. So they just left us alone. So, and then after a while, I'm hearing, threats and shit, because everybody loved Paul, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody loved Paul more than me. Prove it. But everybody loved Paul, so they wanted who did it, yo? Oh, them niggas, or whatever the case may be. So it was tough just trying to survive in that timeline. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't comfortable being visible, and if I was visible, what was I trying to do? Take something from somebody else, or take shine, or take advantage? So I just took a step back. You know what I'm saying? It was tough. I was depressed, bro. It took a long time to get out of that state, man. I was in deep state, yo. Reliving in rituals every day, just thinking about shit, outcomes that wasn't even happening. Programming myself every day, fucked up. I don't know how Soup was thinking, but I'm over here, grandmoms, and just chilling. But I'm still banging on the machine. I was disconnected from hip hop since then, bro, to be honest with you. To be truly, truly honest with you, because the intention was to love, and I lost a lot of love for shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't lose love in my heart, but the love for it definitely wasn't there. So after that, it just became rituals of trying to be successful, or maybe, and I'm admitting to this shit right now. I'm actually analyzing this shit now and admitting to that shit right now, that it was just about rituals, me trying to just become something that I wasn't here intended to be. I'm much greater than that shit. And I'm much greater now. I will be greater what I am. I was always great. You too, bro, because I'm you and you're me, my G. That's why we're here together. It was intended. When you chose to be here, you chose me as one of your paths. And I chose you. It's intended.
No, I feel you.
It's no coincidence.
There's
no mistakes.
No.
There's no accidents. Just divine plans, yo.
No.
You never too early and you never too late. You always on motherfucking time, my G.
Facts. No, that's facts, yo. I don't believe in coincidences. No, I feel you. I feel you. So all right. You said that about the blacklisted thing, and then like you said
we came out with Wild Pitch Records.
Oh yeah, of all labels too.
Stu Fine, Amy Fine. They were like puppeteers. I mean, in the studio, he got the thing. We were still making hot shit on that shit too, but we had even hotter shit than that. Yo, bro, we had a video with fucking Hype Williams. When he came out of college, we was the first motherfuckers he fucking recorded with. Get that nigga $20,000 budget. Made our shit Super 8 first. They didn't even put that shit out. Stupids. What? Ask Hype Williams when you get a chance to get him on this motherfucker. He'll tell you. Our video was supposed to be first with that shit.
Damn.
Or at least professionally, because he was already doing that shit in college. You know he's a beast at college.
Right.
I'm hoping that I hope he take over Spike Lee's spot. He need to. Get Spike Lee the fuck out of here.
But on the second joint, you were spitting a lot more. I like the second joint had.
I still spit. Y'all can find some of my shit right now. Spotify, SoundCloud. Just type in Casanova Rud, everything. The same way it's up there just right now. Same anytime you want. Got shit on there. I've been doing shit since 2016. You might find shit I didn't know I did. I did features with people because I got the love for that shit. So yes, I spit, sir, and I appreciate your acknowledgement. It's tough to be in the same group with Super Lover C. His cadence and his fucking delivery is retarded. So
he was to me, he's ahead of his time. Like,
so it was tough. So so that's why I never stood out, because when you just a DJ and just a producer, you're not the main dude. It's hard to have your own identity. You know what I'm saying? People always love the MC first. Even right now, that's all you see. You don't see no DJs behind nobody no more.
Nah. Yo, talk about the dancing in hip hop, because I came into this as a dancer, and you mentioned Planet Rock, and I always say like 1982 was my hip hop birth year, because when I've heard Planet Rock, I was 6 years old, but I remember hearing Party People, and I was like, what the fuck? And then it switched up to the.
Bro, I had break beads. Our shits was clear color and white. We were called the Footloose Breakers, my G. We had my L broke. No matter of fact, I had a J. They didn't have an L, so I had to break it. I had a J and break it, and it was an L. It was crazy. Footloose Breakers. I had the Cazellis. I had the Kango. Soup was stupid ill. Soup was doing the pop and lock. He had Super Lover C. He had the cigarette technique when you put it in your mouth and then swallow the cigarette and then fuck around with your stomach and do that shit and bring that shit back up. Soup was the master. He was better than the nigga that made that shit. And then it was beatboxing around all that time. So niggas trying to beatbox. I'm trying to spin on linoleum. My back fucked up now because of that shit. I had no athletic prowess in that. I was a trash, B.
But you played football, all right?
Yeah, I played, but not professionally, not even in high school, but just on the streets and on and on the week. I played football all the way up until my 40s. I even tore my ACL, came back 16 weeks and won 4 championships 4 years in a row in my 40s. That's why I'm still in shape. That's why my metabolism's still correct. My mind, you got to keep in mind, everything's connected, mind, body, and spirit, all of that shit. If one of them shits is off, it's going to throw the other, because something else got to compensate for the weakness. You gotta have that balance, for everything. That's the key.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Had
that key. So yes, I was doing. Yeah, about the football shit. That's crazy. That's crazy, bro.
That's how you linked up. But you just made a good point. You ran through a list of shit that you did back in the day, and that's an important thing about this culture, is that like we just did shit, right? It wasn't like I'm a I'm a hip hopper now. I'm gonna go do some hip hop, right? It was just like you have to learn to say, oh, if you hear somebody spitting, oh, this nigga rhyme, yo, I'll bust this nigga ass, like, or b-boy, DJ, grab, oh, fuck these niggas. I'm going over this nigga shit, like,
right.
Like this is we just did it. Like everybody back then had a hand style, even if it wasn't a graph head. You knew how to write, like you had some flavor to your shit.
And you know, in the style of dress and all of that shit, people coming up with slang words, trying to come up with cool shit to say, shit. And you know, we should even do that to today. Right. It's crazy. I'm using old school shit, trying to bring it back. Fuck that, yo. Shit
that's all I use. I mean, listen, that's all I use. You say y'all came up with this shit though.
Got it locked. Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like, yo, listen, the old school slang is the best. Like when they say drip or whatever, I'm like, nah, yo, he dipped. Now he freshly dipped. It's not drip, man. Ain't drip gonorrhea or some shit, man? Like, come on.
But you know, that's what happens with words, though. You know, words go through time and get fucked up and twisted. True. That's why the English language is the most bastardized, dumbass shit. We shouldn't even be using this shit. We should be using sign language and shit, yo.
English makes no fucking sense.
We all confused, yo. We don't even know what the fuck we talking about.
Silent letters and stupid ass shit like that.
So that's why MCing is important too. Because you be saying some dumbass shit too. Don't even know what you're talking about in wrong context. Just keep dripping, motherfucker.
but you can string words together and it sounds dope. So then, yo, I want to talk because we got to get out of here in a couple of minutes. I got another show right after this.
I want to definitely come back. All right.
What up with the art you got going on?
Yo, bro, I ain't gonna front. Like 3 years ago, I'm studying shit because I'm always studying. You never should stop studying. You know what I'm saying? You graduate from school, people stop studying. Ancient times in Egypt and shit, you wasn't considered a full scholar till you turned 30. So I'm still studying. So I'm finding shit filling in the blanks. I'm looking at the Noble Drew Ali. I'm looking at the seventh circle, the seventh circle Quran. With the circle with the 7 on it. He said on the top, he said it's more knowledge on the cover than it is in its contents. So I try to break that down and something open up, bro. It's like I'm starting drawing. I find out how to draw like circles and make it into a flower of life, like this pattern right here. Something similar to that, if you could see it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You start off with a circle and you find a point to connect another circle and you create a dimension within dimensions. So I started to expand on it, when it comes to stuff like this sometime. You know what I'm saying? And then, I tried different variations and things. When you start connecting stuff, you can't unlearn stuff. It starts to open up other things. And when I'm studying metaphysics and I'm studying occult shit, I'm like putting the other things together with it. Because it's more science to this shit. It's alchemy shit, man. Because I know it's mind, body, and spirit. So I'm, like I said, it's balance. So I'm balancing all this shit. Shit is opening up gates, portals, my G. It's like downloads. I start a circle, and you might see it in some of my videos. I start, and it's done. People ask me, yo, do artwork for me. I'm saying, give me a moment because I got to channel this shit. I don't even know where it's coming from sometimes, my G. It's not like I went to school for it. I went to aviation high school. Yeah, I know how to do charts and schematics and blueprints, but this is, and then math start coming to me. I'm start studying quantum physics, learning about quarks and fucking protons, neutrons, and electrons, and how everything is connected. And then my mind, it just expands. It's up to you. Why you even, your mind is diverted so much you can't even connect to your own self and have understanding, yo. You got to start understanding what the fuck you here for. What are you here for? To waste your time? Right. Looking at shit that you can't expand on? It's not about being here. It's about being the best version of you at all times. Try to find that, yo. Follow me, whoever you are. I'll help you, yo. That's all I'm here for, is to help. Yo, that's what the fuck my purpose here is to learn and teach and learn it while I'm teaching. One thing I know for sure is I know motherfucking nothing.
We're always learning, yo. Anybody tell me that they have not, that they know everything. I mean, like, yo, you're always learning. Like, always. I mean, you can always, and be open. So no, I listen. I wasn't expecting this, man. I was expecting. I didn't, but in a good way. I mean, I was just expecting a dope conversation, but I got something better. I got some shit that I gotta like connect with you on, and like I wrote down a bunch of shit. Like we gotta take this offline and build. But
bro, as long as I'm alive, you will never be by yourself. You heard? Never.
Yo, you out in New York, right?
Yeah, I'm in Queens.
Oh, okay.
I'm in Queens.
I'm coming up there in a couple of weeks, yo. So we should try to maybe link up a little quick and see if the schedule allows.
Definitely, I'm with it.
But
I work all day, every day. Yo, I work at a fucking call center, yo. It feels like I work at a high school. I'm a supervisor. No, I'm not on the phones. That was 10 years ago I was on the phone. I don't think I could get a higher position. They ain't gonna let me get no higher. The way I am, I'm too volatile in a good way for me. Because I stand my ground at all times, so they ain't gonna give me no power.
About that job shit, too,
yo, that shit,
I'm the same way. I do not
it's
take
crazy.
No shit.
And it is what it is, yo. And they keep me there because I have the balance. I keep the balance of the force.
But you know what the fuck you better do it. But you do a bang ass job, and they can't fuck with you.
And they can't fuck with you.
See, that's the same thing.
Yo, I'm training motherfuckers and shit. Who gonna train them? You can't. You don't want to do it. I know you can, but you don't want to do it. I can do it, and I do it well.
Right.
Organize the shit. The thing is to be a people person, especially if you work with a large amount of people. You got to be communication is key. You got to be able to see the shadow in yourself and other motherfuckers, so you don't respond to shit. It's hard. That's why I know I'm there. It's my test, my G. I've realized my chosen paths. I have so much fucking leverage. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what to expect.
Yeah.
I know these are lessons of love. I'm gonna find love in all of this shit. Everything's about tribes, tribs, and fucking dealing with trauma, and everything's about finding love in the end of that shit. If you can find love in everything, that's the key, my G. That's what the fuck I've been doing. You heard?
Yo, this has been episode 88, Casanova Rud. Yo, we're gonna have to do this again. I gotta get out of here because we got another show. I'm going live with my man Save the Hip Hop Culture. Real quick before we get out, a quick update on who we got. We got a man Afro on next week, Young Killer, Mondo Slade, grimy cat out of Cleveland. We got Smooth B, nice and smooth, and then we're gonna be out with Elder Sensei A Plus in Connecticut and Massachusetts at their shows. Then we got DJ Doo-Wop. Then we're back to Brother J. So,
yo, you are so dope, my G. I couldn't wait to be on. Yo, I don't be doing interviews, yo. You don't see me a lot doing shit. I couldn't wait to be on shit. I said, yo, I hope this motherfucker asked me to be on this shit, yo. I know I ain't that ill, but I hope at least get me on episode 5,692.
Yo, no, like, listen, these interviews,
CTC, baby.
This is important, man. I mean, like, this was an important one for me, like, because you have history and knowledge. Again, our culture is mostly oral, right? Shit wasn't written down and stuff. So now that we have these platforms and people are willing to discuss things and talk about, like, there's critical things. Like, Kwame told me about, like, stealing Herbie Lovebug's equipment when he was on tour. Like, shit like that.
You got to do what you got to do to get it down.
Like, you were there when like,
NWA,
the motherfucking
NWA. I'm over there with Ice-T. I'm fucking with Candyman. I'm fucking with Kid and Play, Salt and Pepper. I'm on tour with Public Enemy. We started first. After a while, we was killing them. We had to be like third to last because they didn't want to be on before us and shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, after us.
Legendary shit. Like,
Public Enemy. The memories, my G. I could take it with me, but I can't. I can relive it and pull it out every time if I need to.
And that's why we have to do it again because,
man.
These are important, man. And it's like, you know, we didn't even get into the tour shit. So
bro, I know you got to get out of here. Yo, peace, love, and all of that shit. Hate if you got to, because that's part of the balance, too. You got to protect your shit, too, nigga. Hate that shit. Hate, nigga. You heard?
Yeah, so no, you're going to get this up. Thank you very much. We're going to tag you. We put this up this will be on the YouTube, like all of our shit. We're going live in 5 minutes, well, really 1 minute with our man Save the Hip Hop Culture. Thank you, man.
Peace, bro. Love you, man. Be good.
Thanks to everybody joining in.
One.